through the first year of drifting in the US?
I think she should do it one more time.
You guys are f***ing assholes, by the way.
2004, 4 rounds would establish the championship. The sport was new to the US. 2004 had established a series, but the promoters didn't really know what they had, didn't really know where to go with it. It kind of started out in parking lots. You know, here you are going to one of the big 3, GM, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna go racing. We're gonna go racing in parking lots, and I want you to give me all this money so I can do this. They're like,
meet me at the Rouse parking lot, 12 o'clock. Who were like the big players, the big teams, the big names?
you had your established core of drivers, Ernie Fixmer, Ken Gucci, Alex Pfeiffer. Those were the guys that had been involved in the sport for 3 to 5 years at a very grassroots level. So straight out of the box, you've got these guys that are just attacking the course. You've got their style down, they've got their techniques down, they've got their car setups down. Now with the sport becoming mainstream, now you're going to have names like myself, Samuel Hubernett, coming into the sport from more of a racer's background. And we're learning it and studying it and analysing it. So although we had the ability to control the cars, we had to learn these techniques.
Super skill, man. We're getting there.
We show up at Atlanta, this nice new Pontiac GTO, the leading image in the sport, and we don't qualify.
Heartbreaker.
Yeah, it really was. It made enough of an impact on me to really understand what I needed to do, not only as a driver, but it really made me focus on understanding the sport. We more than redeemed ourselves, but it really was quite a blow not to qualify for the first event. After not qualifying at Atlanta, we went straight to Laguna Seca for a road and track invite-only event. I was under full combat attack to redeem myself for not qualifying. The course was amazing to compete at. I actually had my first bout of contact touching other cars while sliding. We were that close together. We actually made it to the finals. We only ended up finishing second to a young 17-year-old kid at the time who actually whipped on me with a handbrake slide at some 80 to 90 mile an hour on a straight entry. In a rally car, you'll typically use the handbrake at a 180-degree turn, first gear, just to pivot or transition the car. Drifting, you'll use the handbrake at some 80 to 100 mile an hour. Not so much that I wasn't capable of doing it, but the car dynamics was not set up. Houston was one of those events where you just dealt with what you were given. What you were given was a loading bay parking lot in the back of some truck center. We had bought out our new chassis there, and we were determined to do well in it. We still didn't understand the sport 100%, and I think we actually got knocked out by Samuel, if I'm not mistaken. But he was in a car that was illegal anyway, so it's fun.
Cheaters. Nobody likes cheaters. What makes a car illegal?
The rules are very strict. You have to have a unibody chassis, a car that shows up as a tube frame or a box frame construction with a carbon fiber shell on it, deemed illegal. That the firewall has been moved, the tunnel has changed, the suspension has changed more than 1 inch, that's illegal as well. A Dodge Viper competition coupe, that would be deemed illegal.
Drift or die!
You know, you had El Caminos showing up, automatic rear-wheel drives. You had cars that range from 1,800 pounds with 160 horsepower to cars that weigh close to 4,000 pounds with some 700 horsepower. But they all, at the end of the day, manage to be competitive against one another. It really shows the hidden ability for people to be innovative, and that's where the sport really works. Sonoma round 3 of 2004 championship, we still didn't have the braking system right in the car. The way that you pull the handbrake at high speed, and it really got exposed at Sonoma because the cars were so sideways hitting the entry. We ended up, I think, 8th. Really, the championship had already been decided at that point. We were really going to use the year as a logistical study to understand how to better the car. Today, A lot of the teams have actually taken what we learned that day and applied as a hydraulic handbrake, which is standardized system for what other competitors use.
So last but not least, Irwindale.
Irwindale, it's a course that suits my driving style for sure. Very committal course, very high speed. It's not a technique course. You don't have to come in real fast and pull the handbrake. You're steering the car with that second steering wheel, your throttle. We qualified in the top 3 and we ended up winning the event. So in 4 races we went from not qualifying, finishing 8th, finishing 4th to winning. It was really showed the progression of my understanding of the sport and the team's understanding to give me the dynamics in the car that I needed. We finished the year in 2004 with a developed car. We knew that it was going to be competitive for 2005.
Thanks for joining us at Chris Millen's house. Chris Millen's? Oh my god. I'm so fired! Thanks for joining us here at Rhys Miller's house. Oh my god! Oh my god, I can't do this! Thanks for joining us here at Rhys Millen's house. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming down.
Thanks for watching OctaneTV, the network that gets up close and personal.